Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Good. Trying to get everybody in.
Yes.
There we go. And I'm not even. Oh, is everyone here? Yeah, we're. Dad, come back. I just broke something. Oh, I'm trying to get my.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
I'm trying to start video. There we go. I think. I don't know.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Hi,
All right.
Ellen.
How is everybody?
Good.
So tell me about this incredible project you guys are working on. It sounds absolutely amazing. I'm really excited to see it.
Go ahead. Let our director start. Demote.
Wow, you're gonna just throw me out there. The writer is
Right.
gonna throw
That's
the
right.
director out
You
to
know
the
what writers
water.
are like. Yes, that's it.
All right, let me make sure I have my right production on. No, Joyland. Oh my goodness, Sammy. Joyland is one of the most, I think, profound explorations of the happenings of the 60s. The race riots, burning desires against political and social unrest, that two of the most unlikely people would come together to try to pull off the most unlikely of happenings uh, in the midst of such social and political unrest in the 60s in New York. I think
Wow.
it is like experiencing that moment in time through the gaze of 2021, but still honoring what that gritty, desperate, dangerous time was like. That a black man and a white man can come together with an idea to really save a community through the sport of basketball. It was the sport that brought them together, and it is that sport that they hope would heal the hurt of a nation, even that is just beside itself with such political and social and communal upheaval and turmoil. Did I do that right, Gary and Russell?
Yes, beautiful.
Did I,
Beautiful.
Started with Damone. Well
did
done.
I say it well? Because it's the thing that I was most attracted to about this project when it came to me. Wow, it's how long has it been, Gary? It feels like it's been a year. Is it
Just
been
a
a
few
year?
months. I mean, you were on the phone when I sent you the script. You were only halfway through, and you said, "I got to do
Wow.
this." Remember that?
It's really true. No, it's really
Yeah,
true.
that's true.
It's
That's a true story. Yeah, you called me
it
and you
is a
said,
true
"No, I got to
story.
do this." And I said, "Well, make sure read the rest of the first episode just in case something
Well,
goes
can we tell the
off the
complete
tracks."
story, Gary?
Yeah,
Can we tell the complete story of how it was
yeah, yeah,
supposed to happen?
yeah, yeah,
Can I?
yeah,
So
yeah. Please.
Gary was sharing this with me uh, as an actor.
Yes,
He was
yes.
looking to me to be an actor in the piece, and I read the piece, and I was like, "Who's directing this?"
Yeah. I said, "Well, no one. Why? Do you know someone?"
Well, yes, as a matter of fact, I do. And whoever you were getting ready to talk to, I think you can tell them
Yes,
the position is filled.
yes. It is just. It's the beauty, coincidence. Einstein said that coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous author. And you just think about the stuff that happens, and you go because I'll take the story back even more. I had spoken to Bernard Dotson, who was in Joyland as Minister Elijah Exa of the Black Muslims, and I said, "Could you do this?" And he says, "No, I have a friend who's very sick. Talk to Damone." So it's just I love it.
So
I
let's
love it.
fill in the dots even more, Gary,
Yeah, yeah.
because Bernard is my best friend.
Okay, there
Uh,
we go.
and
Oh,
Bernard,
There we go.
wow.
and so Bernard jokes with me. He says, "I was recommending you as an actor, and here you come being not only a director but now producer on the thing. What? Um,
Yes.
it is that good." And I think whenever we look at this period in time, and I'm going to let Jamil and Ellen speak, but whenever we look at this period in time, we look at it, I often feel with a very kind of cartoonish view or a not quite honest view of what that perilous time was like. Um, and what Russell and Gary has managed to do is capture the rawness of that time. It's not pretty. It's not.
No.
I think I hit it so much that Gary had to leave.
No. So what
There he
happened?
is.
Happen?
There he is. And so I was midway through it, and I was like, I'm in. I'm sold. I'm sold, and you should fire whatever director you have in place, because I'm the best one for the job.
Okay,
And
now we have
so-
Ellen. Ellen is, please jump right in. I've been to Ellen talk. I just want to let you know that I knew Joyland was good when Ellen put aside her feelings about working with Yankee fans to say yes, because I'm a Yankee fan. Ellen, I mean, is a Red Sox fan who, as
Phillies
you
fan.
Phillies and
Yeah.
Red Sox.
I mean, but I like the Red Sox too. Yeah.
Yes.
I was
Okay,
raised
so-
in a fundamentalist hatred of the Yankees, but I have to work with Yankees fans all the time. So
Kick all of
Get
you.
out. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Go
I'm a
Cubs.
Yankees fan too.
Go Cubs.
So's the world. So's the world.
We still love you, Ellen.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, no, I one of the things that I feel very much about this piece is something that Damone was just talking about, which is, as a person who obviously was not alive during the 60s, I feel like we have such an idea specifically of that time. I mean, I think we have an idea of all the decades that we didn't actually live through, but it was such a really a pivotal time in our nation's like political and cultural history. And there's this, we have an idea of it when we're looking back, and definitely reading this, I thought a lot about today and what, 50 years in the future, people who were not alive at this time are going to think about this time, and how I'm sure that some notion of what it was to be alive right now will codify over the years, but like right now it's just messy, and there's actually all kinds of people with very diverse points of view. And I mean, that's really my favorite thing about this story, is what a tapestry it is of different kinds of people and different points of view on what's going on.
And Jamil, you're one of the, when Damone talked about the two men, there is Marty Dent, played by Timothy Wynant, and the Reverend Julian Bass. Your role.
Yes, I echo everything that everyone else has said about the piece, and I do think that it's a really interesting time because this piece is set in 1964, and when you think about it, Black people, we haven't gotten the chance, or we didn't grant the right to vote until 68. And so when you think of the time that we're in now, and you look at where we were then, it's not terribly far off. We often think of these civil rights things as being so far away, and we always look at these pictures of even Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and they're always in black and white. And you'd actually, you get a different perspective when it's in color. And I feel like that's what this piece represents. Everything is not pristine and everything is in color. You get to see exactly what it was at that time. It's like a perfect snapshot of what was going on, the grittiness, the ugliness, but also the beauty of it as well. That's why I find this piece to be really fascinating. And I was just really honored to even be asked to be a part of it.
Well, we have
Yeah.
season. Go ahead, I'm sorry, Sammy.
I was going to say, how did you get asked to be a part of this? I'm really curious about how you got involved.
Well, Gary and we worked together on a project called The Anthem, which was a off-Broadway musical we did back in 2014, and just, kind of kept in touch through social media over the years. But then he contacted me, I guess in December, I want to say, December or January, I can't remember, about this piece. And then I read it and I was like, this piece is really good. This is really, really good. It's like, wow. I was like, okay. And he wants me to play that part. Amazing. I haven't had an opportunity to really, I feel like, stretch myself in the TV film world as much as I have in the theater world. So it's really exciting to have that kind of opportunity.
And
Well,
you're
and,
wonderful. You're so good.
Yes.
You're
Yes.
so good. I can't believe you haven't done more television and film, because you're amazing. Anyway.
This is going to be
Alright.
the big break. This is going to be the big break. We're going to see you everywhere now.
Well, you know, because it's
Please.
got to be about people. You know, it's about the '60s, but it's not like a history lesson. And we try to do things, and we do some alternative history. For example, the premise is one of the main premises. It's 1964. The American Basketball Association begins in 1967. So, and I don't know why my video keeps stopping, but it's all right. There we go. Okay, sorry. So we have one of the main characters, Marty Dent. There we go. Whatever. Just disembodied voice. So we have one of the main characters, Marty Dent, trying to bring a basketball franchise to Brooklyn, which did not receive an ABA franchise. So we have a little bit of the alternative history, but we want to make it about people, and it's got to be about people. Ultimately, you know, I mean, with Russell, I want to bring Russell in because when we talked about it, Russell and I, had these shared experiences of being very young, going up to the bungalow colony in the Catskills, which I don't know if a lot of people out there know what they were, but the bungalow colonies going back, you know, 50 years before that, even longer, in fact, were the summer oasis for working class and middle class, mainly Jewish communities who did not have money to go far. This was the days before, you know, Jews took over Miami Beach. I mean, this was, you know, this is where they went. Because there was no air conditioning in Brooklyn. Hello? So you wanted to go where there was a fresh breeze. And I let Russell, and the basketball, I want to let you know that Russell is, when it comes to ABA history, Russell is like Rain Man. He really is. It's kind of terrifying sometimes, the things he knows. But Russ went to the bungalow colony.
Yeah, you know, I wish I could say that I don't remember the 60s or hadn't lived through it, but quite honestly, I did. Like Gary, I grew up in the 60s. We chose the summer of 1964 for a very specific reason. We thought that was a real epochal time. It's the first summer following the assassination of John F. Kennedy. It is the first summer after the Beatles invasion. As we saw it, it was a period where America was beginning to change. You know, we were coming out of sort of, I guess, the sleepy 50s and that whole thing. And I think we were jarred and we woke up. And now we are in a world in 1964 where everything is beginning to change. As, you know, we're seeing a city that is beginning to slowly decay. There are issues of white flight. There are issues of the subways being run down and graffiti and all these things. So we took, you know, Gary and I had these shared experiences. We worked together at Sci-Fi. We have a tremendous love for baseball and basketball. We started to talk. We were like, you went to a bungalow colony too? You know, Mrs. Maisel did a little take on a Catskills foray, and it was a very well received 2 episodes. So, you know, we started to talk about this before that, but that solidified our idea that if we could expose people to that lifestyle, that, you know, period, and then it all began to, you know, formulate. Gary is a brilliant mind and imagination and alternative history. But we began to like say, okay, we want to tell the story of a guy, Marty Dent, who wants to basically resurrect himself, save himself, and also save the city. So he comes together with his ex-New York Knicks teammate, who has another vision to save the city. As Jamil said, he wants to kind of bring the races together. And it's this dual quest, very divergent. They come back together again through a series of coincidences and maybe even some misunderstandings, but they are able to bring their friendship together against all odds. Maybe some folks don't want them to continue their friendship. And it's just that what we've created is we believe we love the milieu, we love the world we've created. And, you know, like Jamil bringing Julian Bass to life, he epitomizes sort of the persona that we thought that character should have and could have. And so it's so interesting to see this come to life now, and to use the technology of Zoom. I mean, look, let's be honest. This pandemic has created a lot of opportunities, a lot of silver linings. I'm a pretty optimistic guy, so I've tried to see that side of it, I would have never met Damone and Ellen and Jamil and the rest of our cast. And, you know, we just said, look, what if we did this? What if we did a table read? What if we did it on Zoom? What if we reach out to this American Basketball Association entity that is trying to help some of the indigent older players? Can we align ourselves with that and make some noise? Can we build this world? Can we create an industry showcase? Can we create something that can help us move forward? We are so thrilled to have, as we have done some rehearsals, the cast that has been assembled is just incredible. I mean, in my wildest imagination, I would have, and I think that again is a testament to the times, the ability, you know, that for us to come with a creative project that can engage and interest the people and capture their imagination. Perhaps if things, you know, if Jamil was on the boards, doing a Broadway show and involved with some stuff, maybe, you know, he says, hey, I love your piece, but I can't get involved right now. Same thing with Ellen. So what we want to do is take advantage of the
We lost you.
We lost you.
Oh, you
All right.
were saying such brilliant things, and
I
let me
know.
finish up what he was saying.
Go.
We wanted to take advantage. Oh, there you go, Russell. There you're back.
Yeah, I'm back. So, yeah, we wanted to take advantage, and you know, ultimately, we want to create an immersive world for the viewer. We want to be able to them to see a very honest portrayal of the times. Some of it may rub people the wrong way, but these are the way people spoke. These were the mores. These were the attitudes, and we want to see our characters grow from it. We think that a lot of today, the seeds were planted in that part of the 60s. I don't want to like be on a high horse, but my favorite quote of all time, those who don't remember the past are condemned to repeat it. And I feel like, I mean, I think in the last 4 or 5, we've seen a lot of things that we've seen before.
Yeah.
It's new to a lot of people, but for Gary and I, we just go, wow.
Here we are again. Yep, here we go again.
So that's
Yes.
my spiel. Again, Sammy, thank you. It's a privilege and a pleasure to be with you. I'm so thrilled to be working with Damone. His vision is great. My cast, Gary, it's great.
Ellen, could you talk about your role? Because it also the series looks at, I mean, let's remember where women's rights grew out of the 60s. It used to be, you know, the big job for a woman was, you know, do you want sugar in your coffee, sir? I mean, that was, you know, the Mad Men sort of thing. So, Ellen, you talk about, you know, your roles.
Yeah, so my role is Karen Lapidus, and she is the daughter of like a very powerful man who is the owner of department stores, right? Great. But also kind of has political aspirations. Her father does. And so she, however, despite I think having a powerful soul herself, it's sort of interesting being set in 1964 because of course, like I think that again, subsequent generations look back on women's liberation in the 60s, but Karen is still kind of at the start of this, a little bit living in a 1950s world. So her role is basically as a mother and as a wife. And I don't want to give anything away necessarily, but her daughter, her teenage daughter, sort of like struggles with some mental health problems, and her husband is unfaithful. And so, you know, Damone talked about this a lot in rehearsal. That reflects back on Karen in 1964. In 1964, that is an indication of how good she is at her job of being a wife and a mother. So there's this constant strain on her. I think as a person, like, with a soul that has ambitions and who actually wants to do something, but she's just been put in this box of being a wife and a mother. And then there's this added strain of feeling like she's not good at doing that particular job, the job she's been given to do. So yeah, she's in a powder keg a little bit, and I'm very excited about where she goes, but I'm not gonna say.
We have to guess and watch. That's great. I think Karen's going to be a great role model for the women watching.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's going to be just so, I don't know, I wanted to say the word interesting, but like, like more vital than the word interesting is the word that I want to see somebody sort of undergoing that, the whole kind of transformation that decade brought about, I guess.
Yeah, so we have other strong women. We have Deb Dent, who's married to Marty, who was an honest student in high school, and then she gave it up for the hot basketball player. Well, that didn't quite work out well because he tore up his knee and he was involved in some things he should not have been involved in. And she wants to go back to school and she gets a job as a political activist, actually, a conservative political activist, because we want to, again, we want to flip things up. It would be a cliche to have a politically motivated character. Of course, they're going to march in, the liberal movements and the anti-war movements. She works for Barry Goldwater.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because we want to flip it upside down and go against type, and to show what that perspective, not to say embracing that perspective, but to make it as because then she has an arc when,
Hey, Gary,
yes,
you can't give it all away.
okay, all right, fine, all right, fine, shut me up. Okay,
You
Sammy,
can't give it all away.
then we're just gonna name the other ones. I'm gonna talk about Tyra Bass, who's assistant principal. She's Julian's wife at a high school. And she was, I mean, Russell and I did a lot of research, by the way. And we said she was the first Black assistant principal at a high school at that time. When we make a claim, we make sure that we were accurate. Like when someone orders Tab, was Tab in 1964? And then, of course, the last, Edna Morton, who owns the Breezy Meadows bungalow colony, who's struggling to keep it going. And now the writer's going to shut up. I'm going to let you guys talk. So I won't.
Listen, what I love about this piece, and what I think it's so perfect that it's a series, is that there are so many stories, there are so many events, and the '60s. Listen, our world is like that. Um, I did a huge post today on social media because I was disgusted that yet another brown person's life was taken by the knee of one who was supposed to protect him. Um, and so when we talk about the travails of the '60s and then look forward to 2021, what's unfortunate is that the only thing that has really changed are the numbers. And so we can look at this gritty moment in our history, but what's unfortunate is that we're looking at this gritty moment in time. But if we just took the number off, you see how you can't see my face now? If
Mm-hmm.
you just took the number off, this is what it looks like. That's the '60s. That's 2021. I hope it's not 2025. Is that what everything old is new again, and we can sing that song with some kind of joy, but then with a great amount of heartbreak, that the things that we're fighting for in Joyland, the bridges that we're trying to, or the gaps that we're trying to bridge in Joyland, are still prevalent in 2021 in New York, in Atlanta, in Chicago. And so I'm sad at the fact that, if you close your eyes and listen to our play and we didn't give you any kind of specificity on time, that we could be talking about right now.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's really sad.
Makes me very sad.
Yeah, but I think Gary and Russell, they've written it so beautifully and so honestly. And so my job as a director is to make sure that it lives truthfully. My job as a producer is to make sure that Gary doesn't because listen, we have several episodes to put out, right? And so we don't want to tell you the whole thing, but just enough that you can follow us. You can follow us and track this amazing story as it unfolds, and realize that hopefully we've presented it in a way unlike those that you've ever seen before. We are on Zoom, Sammy.
Yes,
and
we are.
I'm careful to let people know, because I'm also a theater director as well. This is not a replacement for the theater. This is not a replacement for film. It is its own entity, and we have engaged it as such. We're engaging it as such, so that when the time allows us to be able to get on a set and be on location, that we can realize this journey in a much fuller way. But we're still able to provide you through this medium a snapshot into the ruminations of Gary Morgenstein and Russell Friedman's experience, and hope that you would follow us when we are able to do it in a fuller, more realized construct.
It's going to happen. I cannot wait to see for it all in its entirety. And we are almost out of time. I want each of you to describe Joyland in 3 words. Starting with you.
Starting with me,
Yes.
a must-see event.
Okay. Ellen. Ellen?
Tumultuous people's lives.
Gary?
Gritty and real.
All right. Who else do we have left? Russell?
Fun City Revisited.
Nice. Who else do we have left? Who hasn't gone yet?
Jamil.
Oh,
Jamil,
God.
come on, baby.
Beautiful, ugly life.
Yes.
It's I like that. I like the way you described that. You all were amazing. And when is this coming out? So we could all let everybody know.
March 22nd on YouTube.
March 22nd on YouTube. Perfect. And is it going to be all at once, or is it going to be one episode a week?
A month. We have the season 1 is 8 episodes, so we're going to be
Okay.
delivering one each month. So then episode 102 will be in April, on and on.
Perfect. Perfect. I am really excited about it. And so is my cat that is sitting with me, which is why I'm doing this from my bed, because she stole my seat. So I'm like trying to find a place where I can go and get and not keep going back and out. So that's, and you know,
I
she
love
popped on the
that
screen.
you're on your bed. I'm like, look at her. She's chilling in the cut.
Yeah, it's because my cat stole where I usually sit. So, and then she was walking in trying to say hi to everybody. So Buffy approves of this project.
Where are you, Sammy?
Wonderful. Well, thank you all for being on the show, and I will see you all soon.
Hey,
Thank
Sam,
you.
where are you?
Yeah,
I
what-
am in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
This is what I love
Yankees?
about this medium. We can like be
Yankees?
I'm from New York originally.
You know,
Fine.
can I just add one thing?
Yeah, of course.
You know, the reason I said Fun City was Joyland. That was what New York was called at the time. When things were beginning to spiral, they thought to market, you know, the Lindsay era, they came up with Fun City. But amazing. We, in our cast, we have actors that are working all over the world. And that
Oh,
is,
wow.
we have 2 actors that will be working from United Kingdom, London. I think. We have an actor in Los Angeles, an actor in Chicago, an actor in Newburgh, New York. We have people in Brooklyn, New Jersey. Ellen, you're in Philly, or
I'm in Queens. I live in New York. Yeah.
We have Brooklyn. It's like
It's the
incredible.
beauty of this medium.
Yeah.
It's the beauty. That's why I say it's not theater, it's not film and TV, but it's its own entity, and it's enlarged our reach in such an incredible way. Not only are we able to work with this kind of diverse group of actors all over the world, right? But then we also can amass a following to this incredible piece all over the world, from as far as Zimbabwe all the way to like Dubuque, Iowa. That we can pull a very diverse audience for this very unique experience. So I'm really grateful for the opportunity.
Oh, I'm grateful too. And I'm grateful to have you all on. And I think what we should do, if you guys are interested, after each episode end, we can do a recap episode on my show and
I was gonna
talk
ask
about it.
that.
Yes.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Twinsies.
Yes, my love.
Yes, and we look so much alike too.
Yeah.
I know, like spitting image. We should talk to our
Indistinguishable,
parents.
really.
Yeah,
know.
can't tell us
It's like-
apart.
It's crazy.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much, and I will see you March 23rd.
Yes. Thanks. Bye-bye.
22nd,
Bye.
March 20th.
Love.
No,
Thank
but we're
you.
gonna do
Third.
our recap on the 23rd.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
yes, we are.
There you go.
I stand correct. I sit corrected.
Yeah, so watch us on March 22nd and then capture that recap on March 23rd with Sammy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Love
Thank
you
you.
all. Bye.
Bye.
Sammy.